Hey guys, what I do is your boy Supreme Chia the God, and today we are talking about guess what? Talk Raised by Wolves, episode 3. Raised by Wolves every day. God damn, what a show, man! What a show! This episode, right? So we start off with the family. I don't know if you watched my last episode. Hopefully, you watched my last episode, or if you at least watched Raised by Wolves. So basically, there was a guy, right? I think his name is it Mark, bro? Is it Marcus, and his wife Sue. Like they from the atheist group, and they pretended to be religious, and they killed two parents, right? So think how crazy this shit is. They killed two parents just to find out that those motherfuckers had a kid. So they just killed two like religious leaders, no, religious members, soldiers. No, what? Yes, religious soldiers. It's so hard. They killed two religious soldiers, and then they realized that the person they killed had parents, and they had like surgery to like mask the face to be like these parents, and they're like, "Fudge! Now we have a kid." And here, they're on that ship that was escaping to look for a new planet to repopulate and yada yada yada. And basically, they go into hibernation, and in hibernation, you enter what you call it, a goddamn a simulation basically, right? And your mind is active and you can do stuff almost like a dream, but it's a controlled dream. You can actually like live. So they were in there for 13 years getting comfortable and close to the kid, but you don't grow up, so you can basically learn any skill in this dream, right? It's crazy. Or in hibernation without aging physically, which is crazy. But basically they're in there for 13 years, and they're growing up in there without growing up. And they start talking to the kid and stuff like that. The kid is like, "Yo, like, hold up, bro. Like, you never talked to me. Like, what's going on?" He's like, "Oh, it's because we're in this." And then no, the kid actually makes up the excuse for them. It's like, "Is it because we're in a simulation thing?" It's like, "Yes, yes, yes. That's why." Huh? And then they start hanging out with the kid, having fun with the kid for 13 years. They give the kid the mouse, da da da, for 13 years. It's basically the kid at this stage, bro. 13 years, bro. That is crazy. Fudge. That's how long they were hibernated for. So obviously they've become well connected with this kid. But I think they've also kind of become connected to a lot of the people there. They realize a lot of the people there are actually pretty freaking nice people. They thought, when they got caught hanging out with the kid and having fun, and one of the leaders, confronting them, they were like, "Oh shit, oh fuck." They thought, they were gonna like be ridiculed, but they were like, "Oh, I'm glad to see that you having fun after the war." You know what I'm saying? It's good to see that. Essentially saying that the religious people kind of won the war because they seem to be the only ones that escaped with the colony. But I suppose we'll find out if there's atheist colonies as well later down the line. But god damn it, I should just this is the first few minutes of the show, and I have so much to talk about. It is ridiculous how condensed this show is every freaking episode. They put like a movie worth of shit in every freaking episode. What's going on? It kind of reminds me like old Game of Thrones, but it's even faster paced. I don't know, they even condense more shit than that. Like, it's crazy. Anyways. Um, Basically, when Mother crashed her ship, I thought everybody died because that explosion was freaking ginormous. But obviously, I'm assuming the pod place was really really well protected because where everybody was sleeping, it was well protected because I don't know. It seemed okay. Somehow though, the kids were in like a different room type shit, like a circular room. I don't know what's going on there. I don't know where the kids were somewhere else versus where the adults were. So were the kids woken up first, maybe so that they can age up a little bit? Because I suppose they would need to repopulate, so they need them to age up a bit. I don't know. Maybe that's why. And then the the resurgence team, whatever, went to check the planet. And basically, when Mother went in, she killed the leader of the ship. And I think it's called the Coven, the Heaven, something of Heaven, the Ark of Heaven. Yeah, the Matrix Arc Heaven. It's called Heaven, right? And so it's crazy now that these guys are simulated. And that's Marcus and Louis. What's her name? God damn it. Marcus and Sue. They're kind of acclimated with the matriarch and they or matriarch. I'm gonna just say matriarch, bro. They assimilated. So they know, they understand what's happening with the religion and everything and yada yada yada. It's really freaking interesting. It's really really good. But basically, when they pull up or and they wake up from like the crash and stuff, the leader and everything got murked by, and all the soldiers and all the people that was like awake as opposed to do the reconnaissance, the resurgence mission, to do the checkup on the planet, they all got murked. And because they all got murked, and they crashed and stuff like that, and mother stole all the kids. um you know when they land, Marcus is like, or fake Marcus is like, yo, like, the kids are probably alive, like we should take a small team and take them. And then the new leader, who's clearly incompetent and a freaking idiot, an imbecile, a puss, you know what I'm saying, a little wuss, he's like, we can't afford to do that, it's too risky, like we gotta stick together. And it's like, dude, how about their kids, bro? They got taken by a murdering machine, bro. But I suppose it kind of made sense there, low key, because like if they all pull up and she murks all of them, then there's nobody left apart from the kids. So it's, it's kind of tough. Um, and so Marcus was like, yeah, like that mother is an atheist machine, like a reprogrammed atheist machine. And it turned out that mother is what they call a necromancer. They're like ultra powerful, and they're actually created by the matriarchs, and the matriarchs are the religious folks. And since they created it, they've never had it be reprogrammed by the atheists. The atheists have never succeeded in reprogramming it until obviously then, until now with Mother. Mother was reprogrammed somehow, some way. I don't know who had the balls and capacity to grab Mother and reprogram her. She make no sense right now, but we gonna figure that out, because Mother is so goddamn OP. Like, how you even gonna get close to Mother? Like, you know what I'm saying? Unless you like somewhat destroy her and then reprogram her and then fix her. But then you know how it's made. So I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to figure out how Mother came to be reprogrammed by the atheists. But that's basically where we at. And then on Mother's side, the kids are kind of growing more rebellious, especially Campion. Campion starts to think like, because of the other guy, what's the black guy, bro, the oldest boy. He's basically convinced them that, like, Mother has been murdering the kids, like the other kids all died of sickness and da 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 da. But and Mother even thinks that maybe she actually did murder them. But father had faith in Mother, bro. Father really believed in Mother. Because I think, because Mother brought him back to life, and I think that's when he realized that Mother does care about him to some degree, to some high degree. And since, like, when Mother thought that Father took the her eyes, her weapon eyes, her weaponization, the eyes, and then found out that Father didn't take it, I think Mother has, appreciated Father even more. You know what I'm saying? And probably realized that, okay, she didn't actually need to shut him down. Like, he really is out here looking out for her and the kids and cares. And it was really interesting as well. Last episode, I don't know if I really talked about it much, but Father was like, I am useless if no, that was this chapter, actually, this episode. Basically, Father stays with the kids, and Mother goes to look for medicine, because the girl who's pregnant, what's her name? Her name is, God, these names, bro. There's so many characters, and I'm fresh with the show. Like, I'm only 3 episodes in. Like, I haven't even talked about Paul much. Paul, by the way, is Marcus and Sue's kid that they spent 13 years with. So remember that. Paul. Try to remember that. God damn. But basically, the pregnant one, she has a really cool name as well. Like, what's her goddamn name? She's bro. This show is so condensed, bro. Like, please bear with me. Please bear with me. Raised by Wolves cast, right? Let me see. Season 1. Let's see, season 1. But basically, the pregnant lady, anyway, the pregnant kid, she got molested essentially by one of the priests, or one of the people in the ark, when she was still in what you call it, in limbo, in goddamn cryo, in a cryo chamber. um it's actually crazy. But basically, she's getting sick, just like the other kids did. She's puking blood and stuff like that. And the idiot that thinks is the smartest, the black guy, the oldest guy, he basically he's like, oh, you were probably happy to be chosen by a priest to have to bear the child or whatever. But to her, she's like, I was raped. Like, what are you talking about? I was all worded. Like, what are you talking about? And she started attacking him, and then she started coughing blood. I think father or mother stepped in and tried to stop her, and she started coughing blood and shit. And then, you know, everybody started thinking, man, mother must be poisonous type shit. So Campion leads an escape with the rest of them. You know, the older black kid again convinces him. What did I do, by the way? He convinces them to like, oh, you know, we should, you know, escape type shit. And Campion goes, okay, I know how where to go, because he's heard about the Goldilocks in the on the planet where, but I think that there's like something like the magnetic sphere is too much for you to land, but if you're already on the planet, you can just walk into that area of the planet. It, you know what I'm saying? You know how it is. Um, so that's what happened. He escapes with them by tricking father, and father obviously trusts him. He's like, oh, you know, Paul lost his mouse. He's like the mouse that he had for several years in the for 13 years in the cryo chamber, and then obviously when they woke up, he still had it somehow. Uh, Even though the parent never got up to give him the mouse, right? Am I confusing it? Am I confused? Like, how did that happen? Was the mouse in the cryo chamber with him? Like, I don't know. I don't really know. Um, I'm not 100% sure. But anyway, that's what happens, and they. It could be. I could have found a plot hole. Did I just find a plot? But anyways, they escape, and they're walking for ages and ages and ages, and they lose Paul because Paul loses his mouse, and the mouse is called Mouse anyway. So the mouse, and Mouse is on the floor. Father, you know, he got trapped into a room, but he didn't want to break it down because he trusted Campion. He was like, yo, let me out. And then he breaks the door, opens it, and then mother comes back and is like, where are the kids type shit? The kids escaped. um and mother's obviously just not even listening to him. She's ready to go to the ship and find and try to find the kids. But father was like, yo, chill, bro, listen to me. And showed her like, yo, you didn't like kill the kids, bro. The food that we're feeding them accidentally poisoned them because it's radioactive. You know what I'm saying? The outside of it isn't, but the center is. And once you like take it out of the ground, it immediately becomes radioactive. Like the center's radioactivity spreads throughout it. So we just been killing the kids by accident. You did not do this on purpose type shit. You know what I'm saying? And mother's like, thank you, like, to father, because like obviously, like, he believed in her even when she didn't believe in herself type shit. So I really love the relationship and the way it's growing and it's changing and it's adapting, because again, they were together for beyond 12 years, right? I think the 13 years of that journey they were together, plus the 12 years raising Campion together, they were together. So that's like 20 something years together. So obviously somehow, you know, that's why they're becoming more emotional. And she even said that like father is more human than like she thought was possible type shit. Like, you know, like it's crazy how human he's become and how emotionally driven he's become. um and then, you know, they realize when they look on the ship that, you know, it's already mapped out most of the planet, and they find the kids. They're like, okay, listen, Paul seems to be by himself. And mother's like, okay, I'm gonna get Paul, and father said, I'm gonna get the rest, or vice versa. But father goes get the rest anyway. He takes the ship, and mother just, you know, fucking Superman's out of there, and flies and goes. But first, you know, as well, when mother went to get the antibiotics for, now I should have her name here. I've been googling it. when Yo, it's actually crazy that I had to do this. Tempest. When Yeah. So when Tempest was like puking blood because she pregnant as well, you know what I'm saying? So father goes with the ship, and then mother goes to look for Paul, who ends up falling in a ditch. But when mother went to get the antibiotics, she went to the crash ship assuming everybody's dead. So she was like, she's screaming just to make sure type shit. I feel like she maybe didn't want to kill everybody. I'm not too sure. Like, mother is like very confusing. She's very complicated, bro, because when when the when the Matrix first came, she didn't like she didn't attack them. She let them in and she was like, "Look, you can stay for the day, but then you gotta leave." I feel like they could handle that situation a lot better. If father was there. I think if father was there, I don't think she would have ended up killing everybody. But also, if father was there, she wouldn't have found the other kids, and she wanted the other kids by any means necessary, type shit. You know what I'm saying? Because the mission. So it's really intriguing. But anyway, when she went to get the goddamn antibiotics, in the crash ship, they heard her screaming and shit. I don't know if she was warning them or whatever. I'm not too sure, but she was screaming, and they were like, "Holy shit, we gotta escape!" Marcus and Sue were like, "Let's get the fuck out of here." So they went underground and they hid. And the new religious leader didn't know what to do. Like, clearly had no freaking leadership. And Marcus was like, or fake Marcus was like, "Yo, dude, like, what do you want us to do, leader?" And he's like, go search ahead, one of you. And then like when they heard mother and stuff, and they were like, "Oh, one of you go out and basically distract her or whatever." And Marcus was like, "Why are you sacrificing one of us when there's barely any of us? You have two androids there. Just send one of them, like, you freaking idiot." And then one of the android goes out and gets absolutely obliterated by mother. But mother pulls her core out, but the android still survives. So obviously the android probably has like two hearts or something. But the android jumps into the hot hole, and these holes are definitely something, because Paul falls into another hole when he's trying to find the rest of the kids after finding Mouse. Mouse is probably dead at this stage. But yeah, so that means these holes must mean something. Like, this planet definitely contains some crazy shit. Like, we already saw monsters in episode 2, I think. Or was it this episode? I can't remember anymore. But we saw monsters already, so like, it's looking kind of crazy. But yeah, so not yeah, monsters last episode, yeah, episode 2. So that's basically what we're going through. Like, it's like, this is one episode, guys. Like, how long have I been talking for? I've been talking for like 20 minutes, and I'm talking about one freaking episode. It's nuts. It is crazy. And I haven't even said everything yet. And then the android that fell into the hole, mother just takes her shit because she dropped like some antibiotics, and flies back. Um, and then they come out after a while. They come out, but first, before they came out, mother was screaming while attacking the android and shit. And basically they were too close to the sound, so the ears were like going crazy, so they had to like rush through the canal where one of her people was supposed to go search ahead, and they actually ended up pushing somebody down a hole, and it's one of those holes again. There's so many of these holes, and basically it's not even the same hole where the android fell in. And then when they came out, the other android that was with the leader, the now leader of the matriarch, started going crazy because it was her twin type shit, and she's like losing it, and she's like singing hymns and shit. And Marcus is just sick of this shit, bro. It's like, these guys are fucking fools. Like, he's like, "Look, we gotta go find this kid," type shit. And he and then father, not father, the new matriarch leader was about to say no, but then Marcus was smart about it, because like, man, if the android went to get the fucking had antibiotics, then 100% the kids are alive. Why else would they need antibiotics? So um fake Marcus goes to the matriarch leader like, "Yo, like, we should try to go save the kids. Give me half the men to go save the kids." And just before the matriarch leader was about to decline, Marcus said it out loud. Wouldn't our god, what's the god called? I can't remember what the god called. Solar, something like that. He was like, "Our god would like us to save the kids, to make sure the kids are safe, no?" And then, the matriarch leader had no choice but to accept, because Marcus said it so loud everybody could hear. And we could tell this dude is a like, oh, I hate him, bro. And then, he whispers to Marcus, like, "Remember who the leader is, step out of line again," type shit. And because of that, him and like 3 other members had to carry this bum ass religious leader like a king type shit. And he on those, them slay type shit, and they had to carry him by back type shit. Like, it's crazy, bro. And Marcus had to do it as well, despite being a captain, a fake captain, but a captain. Like, and it's, oh my god, I hate him so much. And his android is there just walking beside, not even fucking lifting him. Like, I'm like, this guy, bro. I hate this goddamn guy, bro. I hate this guy, bro. But basically the episode ends with mother doesn't find Paul. Paul falls into a hole, lands on a tree, luckily. And then the other kids are found by father, and father brings them back and gives out the campion, like, if I'm useless, if I can't even protect you guys, what use am I? You know what I'm saying? If I can't be like the provider, if I can't be the father, if I can't even keep you guys from escaping, like what use am I here? And Campion understand what that means. That Mother might just shut him down if he's fucking ineffective, and Campion's like, I wouldn't let Mother do it. Da 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 da. And it's like, you have to let me be father. You have to let me be the father. Like, you have to actually listen to me. And Campion is almost crying, and it's such a beautiful moment. Like, and father is actually right, and father just goes like, look, go. Just go inside type shit. And it's like, it's, oh man, it's so dope. Like, just like the emotional connection that they have, because father obviously felt super betrayed, because the two of them have had conversation about shutting down mother, conversation about deactivating mother, conversations about all type of shit, like, and they've had a trust with each other. And he told them, like, I told you to trust me. I told you to trust me. You know what I'm saying? I told you I got this. I told you to trust me. If you're not going to trust me, what use am I? You know what I'm saying? And I felt that I was emotionally attached to that shit, bro. But that's kind of how the episode ended, bro. It was a great episode. This is probably my favorite episode. I'm not gonna lie. I think it's nearly a 10 out of 10 out here, bro. This episode was sensational. I cannot wait for episode 4. It's been your boy Supreme Shit God. Make sure you like,